bitch till I divorce. Go left, I'm pulling bread out.
Up next, the Celtics taking on the Knicks. For Boston, a loss in their opening game. They're laser focused now on winning that first one tonight. Knicks, Celtics, and tip-off coming right after this. Hi, and thanks for joining us on 2K Sports NBA action. It's coming up here with the greats, Richard Jefferson and Grant Hill. I'm Brian Anderson, and Allie LaForce, our reporter. Boy, it's tough enough to win in this league when you're at full strength. Missing one of your stars for an extended time makes it even harder.
Down a star player. As long as that continues to be the case, they'll have to find a way to compensate, like it or not.
And let's take a look at Boston's starting lineup. Their backcourt, Pritchard and White. Jaylen Brown is out there with Sam Hauser. And it's Kata in at the 5. And for New York, Bridges at the small forward with Anunoby at the 4. Miles McBride is out there with Jalen Brunson. And it's Towns in at the 5, roaming the paint. With the season just getting underway, how much weight should we put on these early results, RJ?
Oh, the early season does carry some importance for some clubs. I'd say teams on the younger side or the teams that have reshaped rosters.
Brown. No good. Towns passes to Brunson from behind the arc. He buries it. From 3.
Yeah, a dead-eye shooter. Don't expect Brunson to miss many of those.
And Brown has got the ball here for the Celtics. It's a 3-point game. And this game, the first chance they've had to see New York.
And this is probably a game they've been looking forward to since these guys bounced them from the playoffs last year.
Now here's Anunoby. Floats one. It's tipped. Here's Brunson outside. Here's Towns. And that one's good. A nice job on the glass as they picked up 2 on the second effort.
Yeah, at 6'11", 250 pounds, Towns is such a tough guy to keep off the glass.
And here's Brown for 3. Hits the trifecta.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
New York has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Grant, the thing about Jaylen Brown, he doesn't need a lot of space to get his shot off.
You know, B.A., he has a quick release and rises high on his jumper. Has a great up fake and can stop on a dime. Usually all the space he needs to find his shot.
Pritchard from outside. The rebound by Bridges.
And he almost made them regret defending him so loosely.
Pass to McBride. Takes a 3. Hauled in by Brown. The Celtics have gone 1 of 4 to begin this one. Pritchard surviving the D. Here's Kata, covered by Towns. Clock at 6. Here's Hauser. He drops it from range.
You're leaving him all alone? Good luck. He's going to drill that every time.
Bridges outside. Back to Brunson. Fires from deep. Nice. Gets his second bucket. He's 2 for 4 now.
Don't let Brunson get hot. I mean, he'll answer all game long.
Nice ball movement by Boston. Here's Kata. And he jams it after taking the nice feed on the run.
And that's how you lead a team. Literally.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Fires, high post. Good work there as it goes. Brunson's got 8.
Yeah, this period, they're letting him go to work, and it's paying off.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Well, Mike Brown had a few moments to share with me. Right away, we got to talking about Jaylen Brown, and he said, he's going to make trouble for us, but with strong coverage and fast rotations, I think we'll do a good job limiting his production. Some confident words from Coach on how they'll slow down Brown's output tonight. Brian, back to you.
All right, appreciate it, Allie. Good on the bucket. Brown's gotten his second bucket of the game.
Night in, night out, Brown just makes plays.
And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. And some changes here for New York. Mitchell Robinson, he's checked in for Towns. Yabusele comes in for McBride. And Clarkson subbed in for Brunson. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. All right, we've now got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. He's got a special report. Shams, it's all yours.
Thanks, guys. Well, head coach Mike Brown taking over this season for New York. He's well aware of the pressure to win a championship with the Knicks fresh off an Eastern Conference Finals run. But he said this is the kind of pressure you want as a coach, having a chance to win big. And he's excited for the challenge.
You got to respect that mindset. All right, Shams, thanks very much.
Wow, their opponent is doing a tremendous job spacing the floor.
To the middle. Robinson against Boucher. Oh, a clear foul there on the missed shot. So he'll get a pair at the line. It goes on Chris Boucher.
I like that. I mean, some physical play inside. He's not about to give up any easy baskets.
All right, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Celtics?
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
Yeah, also, you got to appreciate how unselfish they've been. I mean, the ball movement has been impressive, and the assist numbers are off the chart.
You know, for a team that's had deep playoff runs almost every year recently, the Celtics fell short last season, RJ.
Well, injuries and other factors played into that. But there's so much parity in the NBA right now. There is no team invincible come playoff time.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Hart's checked in for Anunoby. Kolek comes in for Mikal Bridges. Now here's Simons. 10 points in his last outing. Knocks it down from distance.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
And that one's good. Clarkson.
Good maneuver to get inside. Clarkson is sneaky.
And so Simons will bring it up for the Celtics. 3-point lead. They're coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
They really struggled to find their footing throughout the night. But towards the end, they got into a flow and almost won it.
You know, when things aren't going your way, it's tough to stick it out. So I applaud them for hanging in there.
A terrific view of that move captured on the connected cam, thanks to AT&T. For New York, they've gone 5 of 9 from the floor. Here's Clarkson. Rebounded by the Celtics.
Just enough resistance to force the miss. Barely. That's one he'll generally make.
Simons passes to Tillman. This one for 3. That one no good. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through 1. Celtics out in front. They lead by 5. And we'll be back in just a minute with the start of the second quarter. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter in this one. And for the Celtics here, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, it seems like they went in looking to do damage from long range, and they faced little resistance.
Their points came almost exclusively from beyond the arc, and as this game continues, that should open up the floor for the rest of their offense.
Here's Shamet, coming off a terrific game against Cleveland. Gershon Yabusele out there with Josh Hart. Then it's Jordan Clarkson. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Shamet in at point guard. That's the group for New York starting the second. Here's Tillman. Simons passes to Tillman. White for 3. Three-pointer goes up. Three-pointer goes down for White.
And we talk about the importance of versatility. He's really got it all on the offensive end.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Thanks a lot, Brian. The Celtics trying to keep that laser focus. Coach Joe Mazzulla said, quote, "The closer you are to winning, the easier it is to become distracted by things that you can't control. Things that don't matter. Mindset, discipline, and mental toughness are what separate you." Yay?
Stay dialed in. Allie, thanks very much for the report.
I mean, he's just so electric. Simons putting on a show.
Knicks trail by 5. No doubt, Anthony Simons has shown he can be a 20-point-per-game scorer in this league.
Yeah, the shooting is great. He's a natural at finding his shot, but he'll be targeted at the other end. That's where he's got to improve.
Here's Simons after the basket by New York on the other end. And there's White. That's good on the assist by Simons. White's got 6 points.
Nice find there from Simons. Solid at recognizing when his teammates are uncovered.
And so Mike Brown decides to call a timeout. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over. Changes here for New York. Anunoby, he's checked in for Hart. Mikal Bridges comes in for Clarkson. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Shamet. And the Celtics also making a change. Brown, he's checked in for Minot. Now here's Bridges. No made baskets yet. Outside Anunoby. New York working the ball around now. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Yabusele. All right, here's what the Knicks have lined up on their schedule. On Sunday, they'll be taking on Bam Adebayo and the Miami Heat. Then on Tuesday, they'll take on Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks.
What a great opportunity for this team to take a step forward. They have some tough road games coming up, and that kind of stretch can bring a team together. Winning some of these games would be huge for their overall confidence.
Josh Hart's checked in for Yabusele. Simons deciding where to go with it. Pass to White. 4-3. And the Celtics another 3.
That's been typical of their performance today. They're sharing the ball and creating good shots.
And really the heartbeat of this Knicks team is Jalen Brunson, Grant.
Yeah, B.A. The lifeblood, both on the court and his willingness to take less on his contract, giving them the leeway to enhance their talent.
Simons outside. Pass to Brown. Brown cashes in. A terrific finisher inside.
When they get their opportunity to punch it inside, they don't hesitate.
Here's Brunson outside. And the Knicks another 3.
Picking up right where he left off. Hit 2 triples in the first quarter. Now he gets another to fall.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls the timeout. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. And some changes here for the Celtics. Cadis checked in for Boucher. Hauser comes in for Tillman. And Pritchard is subbed in for Simons. And we're just over 2.5 minutes into the second. Outside, Brown. Bridges against White. Pass to Pritchard. Back to White. Shot clock at 6. Here's Brown. And he gets it to go. 4 for 6 so far.
And shooting-wise, he's been fantastic, helping to build this lead.
And Brunson's got the ball here for New York. This game coming on the heels of their win versus the Cavaliers.
It was a lockdown effort defensively, contesting shots and really protecting the painted area.
They were very disciplined on that end of the floor, staying attached to shooters and disrupting plays with their active hands.
White coming through.
Defensively, they've got to get more bodies in the paint. That's 3 straight field goals from below the free throw line.
All right, Greg, can you talk about what Jalen Brunson has brought to the Knicks?
You know, B.A., he's made them relevant again. New York can be a demanding place to play with the expectations and the media. But he's taken the bull by the horns and had immediate success.
So it's Boston now, after New York picked up the 3 with their last shot. White, the pass to Brown. Goes up and lays it in nice and easy. Brown's got 6 here in the quarter.
They have no answer defensively inside.
Here's Brunson. It's hauled in by White. Celtics lead by 5. Here's Pritchard. And he banks in the layup. Pritchard's got his first basket.
They're punishing those late defensive rotations, getting good looks inside throughout the half.
And Here's Brunson from the arc. Ooh, Brunson, the sweet lefty stroke.
All 5 of the last buckets they've given up have been from downtown.
About 3 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. White against Bridges. Here's Brown. And the jam by Brown.
One of the premier scoring wings in the NBA, Jaylen Brown is at it again.
Pass to Bridges. Now here's Hart. The 3-ball. The shot, no good. That'll do it for the first half. It's the Celtics up by 6. And we'll be back for the second half following the break. Keep it right here on 2K Sports.
Welcome. All right, guys, let's break it down. It has not been the ideal start for the New York Knicks.
We need a department store intercom. Attention all ballers, attention all ballers. We have a missing defense. Paging the defense, paging the defense.
That was pretty good, Shaq. You might have a future in retail.
Shaq, to register 4, please.
And now let's take a glimpse at some of the games on the upcoming schedule.
Looking at the Knicks, hey, their spirits are high. They have a chance to start the season on a winning streak. Build up that momentum, guys.
The way they looked in that first game, it certainly wouldn't be a surprise. And that is going to do it for us. Let's get back to some second half action with Brian Anderson and company.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard. You look at Jalen Brunson in this game, he's been everywhere.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
If they don't change their approach in the second half, let's just say his success will continue.
And Grant, when it comes to a franchise player, how much does it help to have a guy who unites the locker room?
Well, you know, B.A., when you think of guys like LeBron James or a Stephen Curry or Tim Duncan, it's not just about their play on the court, but the type of person you see in the locker room. That can rally a franchise.
Kicking off the second half, here's Joe Mazzulla's 5. Their backcourt, Pritchard and White. Sam Hauser out there with Jaylen Brown. And it's Queta in at the center, locking down the middle. Pritchard from outside, and it's New York with a rebound. Towns has got 5 rebounds in the game. And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Thanks a lot, guys. Jalen Brunson is the engine that makes this team go, and he has sacrificed so that the Knicks could surround him with talent. He said, winning trumps everything that I do individually. I'll do my part to help this team try to get a championship. It's all about the journey, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Brian, back to you.
Putting the team first. Thanks a lot, Allie. Now here's Bridges. He's scoreless. That gives him the lead.
Yeah, he's in his bag from beyond the arc right now. You see his confidence.
And of course, it helps space the floor, which gives this offense more room to operate.
And so Joe Mazzulla calls a timeout. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy.
On your feet, fans, and make some noise. It's your Knicks City Dancer.
Yabusele, he's checked in for McBride.
City Dancer.
Let's look at the top rebounders from last season. Second, Karl Anthony Towns.
Simply put, he was terrific down low last year, owning the glass.
Brown passes to Queta. Nice ball movement by Boston. Outside Pritchard puts up a 3. And Anunoby pulls it down.
Coming out stone cold here. Sometimes the break will do that to you.
Yes, Peyton Pritchard doing it at the NBA level. But he was a beast in the college ranks too, Richard.
All-time leader in games played, minutes, and assists in his conference. The only player to reach 1,900 points, 600 assists, and 500 rebounds in the conference. You know, that's pretty tough.
Their first miss after hitting 3 straight shots, but I like their aggressiveness coming out of the half.
Back to Brown. Pass to Keita. Now White. 6 to shoot. Ooh, nothing falling for them right now.
Is it possible to rest too much? Because he hasn't been able to get into a groove since coming back in.
Towns passes to Anunoby. That one's good. And it's Towns with the assist. And it's a 4-point Knick lead.
I just love the ball movement.
And here's White. He'll bring it up for Boston. Nothing yet for him here in the third quarter. After this game, they can look forward to Detroit, where they will match up against the Pistons. It's the second game of 3 on the road. And so Joe Mazzulla calls a timeout. Coach taking this moment to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Brown looking around. Here he goes. And slammed it home. And a foul. A chance at another point at the line. It's on Gershon Yabusele.
Getting the hoop and the harm. That's tremendous body control from Brown.
And Boston with some changes. Boucher comes in for Keita. And Tillman subbed in for Hauser. And with Jaylen Brown on the wing, he feels like any given night he has the advantage in his matchup.
He's either too fast for the big guys or too strong for the small guys. That's the problem. He is a handful on both ends of the floor also.
And man, you gotta appreciate how efficient Brunson is. I mean, he takes and makes high percentage shots.
Pritchard. The shot comes out. Nice D from Bridges.
Gotta love how they've been crashing the boards, fighting hard for every miss.
Here's Brunson. Brunson brushes off the D.
He's just got it on automatic right now, shooting 100%, and that'll keep your confidence out.
White against Bridges. Pritchard, the pass to Boucher. Outside, Brown. Almost had a 4-point. And in a game this close, they're going to challenge the call. Coach does not agree with it, and he wants him to take another look at the monitor.
People were worried that this would slow the action down.
The previous play is under review.
Smart to adopt this challenge policy in 2019.
You know, one thing this does for a coach is let his players know he's got.
After review, the ruling on the floor stands.
And they've made their decision. The call will stand.
And as much as it hurts to lose a challenge, I think Coach would challenge that call again if he could. He really disagreed with the foul, and he's still peeved.
And some changes here for New York. Mitchell Robinson, he's checked in for Towns. Josh Hart comes in for Anunoby, and Jordan Clarkson subbed in for Bridges. Boston also changing it up. Minot comes in for White, and Simon has subbed in for Pritchard. And he knocks down the first one. And since the turn of the century, die-hard Knicks fans had dealt with some lean years, Grant, until recently.
No doubt, BA, and they're happy to see meaningful games. The arrival of Jalen Brunson just changed things, and they've gone all in to surround him with talent.
And he's good on the second.
Brown, now an elite scorer in this league, really does it all.
And he makes all three. And last season, Grant, the sale of the Celtics franchise for $6.1 billion. It seemed like a lot at the time.
Well, yeah, that was until the Lakers sale hit 11 digits last summer, BA. But in both cases, basketball decision-making doesn't change right away. In the case of the Celtics, the governorship doesn't transfer until 2028. And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. You just missed it.
On the wing, Clarkson. Basket is good. Off the assist from Brunson. Brunson's got 3 assists in the game.
This is what it's been since halftime. Remarkable results from downtown.
In the modern NBA, you have to hit threes to win games, and they've made that adjustment since the break.
And the basket by Brown.
And so far, Brown has been dialed in and is showing no signs of letting up.
Simons against Brunson. Pass to Clarkson. Oh, a big finish with a one-handed jam.
Woo! Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
Yeah, it's going to take better rim protection than that if they're going to climb out of this hole.
Now here's Simons. He's got 5, and the layup is good. Simons got 7.
I'll tell you, Simons can really book it. When he's at full speed, good luck catching up.
Right side, Robinson. Here's Yabusele. Oh, at the buzzer! Wow!
I didn't think he was going to get it off in time. Oh, wow.
Talk about being poised under pressure. Big time shot from him there.
And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will carry the day? New York out in front. They're up by 8. We'll take a quick break and then get you back to the action. The 4th quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Celtics trail by 8. They've got Josh Hart. Karl Anthony Towns is out there with Mitchell Robinson. And then it's Landry Shamet. And it's Clarkson in at the shooting guard. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. Counted. 9 points now for Anthony Simons.
Digging deep, Simons to the hole himself.
Pass to Hart. Lets the 3 fly. Sends it home from 3-point land.
And he's shooting it at an efficient clip, but he needs to keep looking to score. It's what his team relies on him to do.
Simons passes to Boucher. Outside White. Here's Gonzalez. Oh, he tries a 3. Towns with a rebound. Towns has got 6 rebounds now in the game.
I'll tell you what, they've been aggressive and they've been physical.
Pass to Shamet. Back to Towns. Goes back up. Towns doing some work on the interior.
And he is a force in the paint. Towns is such a huge presence inside for them.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. Coach clearly has something he wants to say to his team right now. Is checked in for New York. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
During that last break, I heard Joe Mazzulla as he talked with the team, and he was adamant that they need to tighten up their D. That lack of communication at that end has led to breakdowns, wide open shooters, and easy buckets. He sounded pretty frustrated, guys.
And Allie, thank you for that. Here's Brown. The Knicks with the rebound. Towns has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Here's Brunson outside. And again, New York with the triple.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been threes.
Simons, a screen on Hart. Here's Brown. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
I love their work on the glass. They hold a nice rebounding advantage.
Here's Brunson, and it's New York scoring again.
He's been dominant all game long. Nobody on the floor can stop him. And look, let's just say he knows it.
They set a pick. Simons. And that basket is good.
We've seen that more than once today. An effortless basket inside.
And the Knicks with possession. They're on a 10-2 run here. Towns! And he nails it!
As the deep shots continue to fall, you can sense the frustration growing among these defenders.
And Joe Mazzulla has called timeout. He clearly wants to talk it over and make sure everyone is focused. And Boston with some changes. Cadis checked in for Garza. Hauser comes in for Tillman. And it's Peyton Pritchard in for Simons. Here's Pritchard. Here's the pass to Brown. Oh, he finished it off. A beauty of a pass.
And he's coming off a huge performance, and his confidence couldn't be any higher. And his coach knows that, too.
When it ain't broke, leave it alone until someone stops him. Just let him roll.
Now here's Towns. Yes, sir!
And just totally relentless, only increasing the intensity level.
Always plays hard until the final whistle, no matter what the situation is.
White with it. He's covered by Clarkson. Here's Brown. He fires. Oh, can't hit the jumper.
Usually he's a master in the midi, but not that time.
Brunson. Oh, no good on the layup. Celtics trail by 17. Hauser outside. Now White. And, of course, you won a ring with the Cavs in 2016, Richard. Talk about the challenge of winning a title.
In a lot of ways, it just comes down to will and grit. The playoffs are an extra 2 months of intense basketball. The team that wins it all normally has the most help and motivation.
Celtics trail by 19.
And they were really able to find the mismatches they wanted and exploit those all night. Great execution from the players and coaching staff for the Knicks.
All their efforts on the boards ended up paying off.
And just 2 tough rebounding teams, but they gave the extra effort and were rewarded for it.
And this one concludes with their second victory of the year.
It's just the start of this season series with 3 games left between them, but it must feel great to take the first meeting.
And one player just stole the show tonight, doing everything for his team. A monster night for Jalen Brunson.
We saw him get a lot of touches tonight, and he wasted very few of them. Really made himself the backbone of their offense.
Now here's Brunson. Fires for 3. Robinson finds Brunson. The 3. And again, New York with the triple.
Stepping up and nailing an important shot to put this away.
And that score probably slams the door for any would-be comebacks. And look, they put this one to bed. Oh, he really wanted that triple. Even though he missed, I really like the competitiveness I'm seeing.
And so New York takes this one by a big margin. Boy, they were something special to watch tonight, and the crowd loving every second of it.
It's always a great feeling when you play this well for your fans. This team really showed what it's capable of.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Grant Hill, Richard Jefferson, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And now, time for our player of the game, Jalen Brunson.